Everyone, I wanted to show you how to use and what you can expect with a cool app called Dash Utility. I'm making no money from this. I'm not officially endorsing anything. It's mainly a Dash driver had posted about this app, and I used it last night on Halloween, and I want to be able to show you all what it's about. It's actually a pretty awesome utility, pretty awesome app that solves a lot of the things that we are all trying to do manually. Because there's the decline now protests that are happening out there. There's people wanting to be able to know kind of a breakdown of what a delivery is. They only want, say, if you only want to accept a certain delivery that has a certain dollar per mile amount or a minimum payout amount. Well, this app does that for you and more. So it's called Dash Utility. Right now it's only available for Android, and probably only will be available for Android, mainly because iOS has certain rights that it prevents these types of apps from being able to access. So let me go and open up the app itself. Let's go get this pulled up here, and basically starting from the top here where it says show sidebar. The sidebar is going to be an overlay on top of your screen that displays a couple of things. One, when an order is happening, it's going to have a clock. It basically is letting you know how long you've been on that particular order. Also, when things, options down the line automatically activate, it will show the actual address of where the delivery is to pick up. It'll show the address of where delivery is going to be dropped off. That way you have a more precise ability to see where things are going or where things are being picked up to determine whether or not, hey, I remember that address, or I remember that specific restaurant location. I'm going to decline it specifically because of that. Or you can make whatever choice you want. And that's what the sidebar is. It's those two things that will pop up on your screen, and you can easily hit an X in Doordash to close those. So they might initially overlay, but it will have an X that shows up. Then you have the option there that says auto accept orders. It'll auto accept orders if you just have that toggle. So like every order you get, it'll automatically accept. Then you have the auto navigation. Once it automatically accepts those orders, it will automatically start your GPS. It'll automatically start routing you to that particular location. But then it goes to if you want to more refine what orders it will accept, you can create some parameters. You can either determine whether or not you want it to accept red card orders as part of the auto accept ability. Do you want it to automatically accept or allow to accept stacked orders, which I personally have them both toggled off because I don't want it to automatically accept something that I know I'm going to have to wait for. Any of these auto accept features are just for the option to auto accept. It will still display your order request as normal. It'll pop it up, show it as normal, but then you have to manually determine whether or not you want to decline or not. Then if you see the information down below, those of you who want a minimum order amount before you want to auto accept, you can set it here. I have it set for $9 because it was Halloween night, but typically, like on like a lunchtime, you can slide it over here, and you can. It's kind of tricky sometimes because it's instead of you having to enter in the exact dollar amount, you have to kind of use the slider to kind of get, like for me, I try to do like 7, but it's kind of hard because you have to kind of tap the circle to try to get close to 7 like that. I think you can submit to their support if there's any suggested change, and they are always looking for options like that. Like in this instance, I should be able to click the dollar amount and be able to manually enter it in there. Now, you also have the option here to automatically accept something that is a specific minimum amount per mile. So for dinner time, a lot of people at dinner time will do a $3 per mile. And I had that last night for Halloween. Typically, like during normal hours, during lunch period, I do like a $2 per hour. So I'm going to readjust it to $2 per hour. And so what this would do is if you have both of these here set, it will only automatically accept orders that are at least $7 minimum and are at least $2 per mile. So for this instance, I will only automatically accept an order that is probably like what? That would be what? 2.5 miles? No, that 4.5 miles, 3.5 miles. That pays me. That'll minimum pay me at $7 because 3.5 times $2 per mile equates to $7. So in this case, I will only automatically accept an order that is paying me at least $7 for at least 3.5 miles. So any of these settings you can set and customize it to your particular needs. Some people might only do it as $1 per mile as their minimum, and they might move the minimum amount per order to 0. That's your choice. The important thing is, once you have this all set up, you want to click at the top where it says You're Offline, click it to You're Online. You'll notice as part of their... Wait till this ad goes through. I'm going to click that. Part of their way to pay for it, because it's a free app, is that whenever you click Go Online or You're Online, it will play a ad. And that's the only time the ad ever shows up, which is nice. I mean, you see ads in the middle, but you're not having to do anything for those. You're not having to pay anything for it. So to be able to have that one ad play whenever you go online, for it to be free, I'm okay with that. People are saying that they would pay for an ad-free version or even for a paid version when they finally figure out how to add the auto decline. And people have asked about it, and they said that they need to make sure that the auto accept options always occur the way they should, based off of how you have them set before they add an auto decline. And that would be nice, which means that anything that is not within these parameters will auto decline, and that will be a toggle option. So it's not like something that's going to automatically happen, because there are times where, when, say for instance, an order comes in, and no matter which, and that's the other cool part, no matter which screen I'm on, it will automatically load up the Doordash screen. If it's an item that is within my parameters, it will load up the Doordash screen, it will automatically accept that order, and then it'll automatically start my GPS to that location. If it's an order that is not within these parameters, it will automatically load the Doordash screen. It will display the Doordash screen and offer window, but what it'll also do as part of the sidebar information, not only does it show the starting address, the final address, it will also show a breakdown as to the dollar amount per mile. So, like, say I have it set here for $2 per mile. If something that is not within my parameters, it will show the breakdown, like it'll say, like, you know, $1.50 per mile or $1.95 per mile. But it didn't automatically accept it because it was not within my parameters. Then you have the option to say, you know what? Since now I can see really how it breaks down as to the dollar per mile, is that close enough to what I would accept right now? Like, has it been busy? Do I need a delivery? Is that close enough to what makes me think out is worth it? If it is, then you could accept it. You can choose to accept it. So it still gives the option to accept orders that are outside of your boundary, and you can determine kind of like what the variance is at, you know, how far close to it does it need to be, is it, and you can then think about other reasons why it would be a reason to accept it. Like, you know, these two locations are close by. Because what this is doing is not giving you it's not giving you the dollar per mile between delivery and drop off. It's the dollar per mile between where you are to the pickup to the delivery. So that is more of an important factor to determine whether or not I'm going to get some. Because most time it's only displaying the difference between the restaurant and you, or restaurant and the drop off. This will show all those factors, and that will help you determine whether or not it's a dollar per mile that you would accept to do the order. Now I'm going to click, and you don't have to click the Open Doordash driver app at the bottom for this to work. As long as you've clicked the You're Online, you're fine. Even if you've already started an order or started your app or a dash, anytime during your dash scheduled period, you start this to go online, it will then activate for the next app. But you can easily click where it says Open, and it will scroll over. It will pop up your screen, and like right now, it shows I'm scheduled for 11 to 1, and right now the overlay is not on for the sidebar because an actual app or an actual order isn't in progress. Now, I was hoping that there would be a red area where I'm at, so I can kind of demonstrate what the auto switch does and how the screen shows up, but I'm not close enough, and there's no available shift right now where I'm exactly at this particular time, so I can't show you that. But what I can show you is some other features. Top left, if you click those three lines, you click on it, and you click Dash History. This is going to be fun because I haven't seen it from last night, from Halloween. There's like so many orders that were like low ball. But I'm going to click here, yeah. And you'll see here all these Halloween orders that were below my amount. And it'll tell you on here. Let's see here. I think that, okay, this is the actual breakdown of the individual dashes. Can I click on it? Okay, you can't click on it to see even more stuff. But like you say, from a Halloween dash that I did between, I think it was 5:30 and 8:30, pretty much 9 orders I rejected. And it's funny, it's not showing. Oh no, that was my second dash. After the 8:30 period, I was going to do like a 9 until midnight dash, but because I got 9 orders in a row that were at least 50 cents per mile, I decided to go offline. But if you see before there, the one that says, you know, the order or the information just below that top review, you'll see that over between 5:30 and 8:30, I did 8 orders. I declined 8 orders, and my average per hour orders per hour were 2.67 orders per hour. Total time on delivery, so I spent a total of an hour or 2 hours on deliveries. Total online, time online, 3 hours. So that means I was online for 3 hours, and of those 3 hours, 2 hours were actually in the course of doing dashes. It's not showing, and then, which is actually pretty cool, my hourly average was $23 per hour, and I made a total of $69 for that 3 hour period, but technically only driving for 2 hours. So this app allows you to be more efficient, because say, even though I might decline a whole bunch of orders, and people are saying, well, any order will give you money, right? Well, if you're doing those small orders, you're also wasting gas. You're also spending time trying to come back to those popular locations. So for me to not be spending that extra gas, for me staying in a stationary position and waiting for these cool orders, and as you can see, pretty much 1 out of 2 orders I accepted, it made it so I could do less dashes, do less work, make more money, spend less gas. And I want to, and you can, as you can see at the top, if you click the up arrow, you can, feature's not available yet. If you click this save area, feature's not available yet. And I think I'm not going to click the trash can because I want to run the risk of deleting everything. But this is a beta, so they're still adding stuff. They're still trying to fix stuff. They're still trying to include stuff. So there's some features that are not currently available. But if you hit the back arrow, and I want to click on the request history so they can kind of see the breakdown of everything that I did last night. And you can see the majority of these, ones starting at 9 o'clock, are the ones that I started on my next shift. And you can see, it will give you the option. It'll tell you payout is too low or dollar per mile. Like say if the payout reached my criteria, but the dollar per mile didn't reach, it'll say it on there. But as you can see, it breaks it down to what the payout is, what the miles is, and what the dollar per mile would have been. And as you can see, other than like that Chili's one, the $2.50, which I normally would have done, but I was tired. I was in the middle of eating. I didn't do it. But you can see a lot of these are below what I would want. 51 cents per mile, 78 cents, 92 cents. The $1.66 and the $1.29 are ones that I may have taken, but it took me north away from the area that I eventually wanted to get to. It wasn't, it was only one of them that I took that took me south towards where I wanted to end up at the end of the day. But as you can see here, all these 9 o'clock ones are pretty much below my amount. And then where it shows starting at 6:30, I'm going to go back to starting at, where is it at here? Starting at 5:46. That's when I started. You'll see a number of the ones here that shows the ones that you auto accepted. It doesn't show the ones that gave you the option to accept and that you manually accepted. These are only the ones that are showing up. It will show it on the screen, but it won't show that you accepted it unless it auto accepted. But like, my initial dollar per amount was $2. That's why it accepted that $2 per mile, or $2 per mile. And so I went up. I did accept that the $3 red card order, and scrolling up here, there's a number of them that I did accept based off of the location. Was within a certain proximity, like the $1.25, the $1.63, $1.22, because they were pretty good. And so 8 of these I did, 8 of these I declined. I only does it show the breakdown of mileage? I think that would be in my Doordash. So I made the $69. I still haven't cashed out from the last 2 days, but I made $69, and doesn't show me the distance. But I know the other one would show me the distance for eight deliveries. So overall, this app is really cool. Again, they don't have the auto decline yet, but it's coming. They don't have iOS support yet, and it probably won't happen based off of Apple's privileges. But this is currently available for Android. It allows for a lot of versatility. Any of these you can deactivate, you can activate, you can customize. And I've been using it for the last 2 days, and it's really been an easy way to kind of manage the business, to kind of make sure that I efficiently get orders, save gas, spend less time delivering, and making more money. But I wanted to take this time at least to kind of show you guys the possibilities. If you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to let me know. Wherever I'm posting this, just go ahead and go ahead and post a comment, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. But again, it's a Dash utility, and you can get it on Android, Google Store. You guys have a good day, and good luck.